Okay, this was not the trip we planned. We were supposed to spend the day exploring Staten Island. We found this incredible place that looked like we had left New York and somehow ended up in another country. Then our phone started going crazy. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Doppler radar indicated heavy rain across the warned area.
And we had a decision to make. Do we stay or do we get out of here? So we left.
Anyway, we're going back to Queens. I think we're done here because I think there's a storm coming. What bridge is that? Is that the Verrazano Bridge?
And this is where the story gets crazy because the storm didn't actually happen until much later when we were already home. But that one decision completely changed our plans, and somehow it turned into a 2-day adventure that took us from Staten Island to Queens to a Michelin Guide Beef Gourmand restaurant, and then the following day all the way out to Greenport, New York. So in this video, we're going to take you through the whole thing. And I think by the end, you're going to understand why sometimes the best travel experiences are the ones you never planned.
Coming back to me, my heart is hung up on what used to be. Time moves on, and then one day, ancient history.
Our original destination was Snug Harbor Culture Center on Staten Island. And if you've never heard of this place before, I don't blame you because, you know, before this trip, we didn't really know what to expect either, but that's one of the things I love about exploring New York. You can live here and still find places that make you feel like you've traveled somewhere completely different. And that's exactly what happened when we arrived at Snug Harbor, because one of the first things we wanted to see was the New York Chinese Scholars Garden.
All of our gardens are free to explore. There's specific attractions on our campus that might be paid.
Okay.
The Chinese Scholars Garden is our only ticketed garden, but you can buy tickets at the entrance for that. And each of the museums has their own policy.
And let me tell you, this was not what I expected to find on Staten Island. Look at this, the architecture, the gardens, the ponds, the rocks, the bamboo.
Feels like we're in Japan.
The little details everywhere. It has the incredibly peaceful feeling to it. And for a moment, you almost forget you're in New York City. That's what I love about places like this. You don't necessarily have to get on an airplane to feel like you're somewhere new. Sometimes you just have to be willing to explore a place you've never been before. And we were really getting into it. We were walking around, checking everything out, taking it all in, and then this happened. A severe thunderstorm warning appeared on our phones. That's one of those notifications you don't really want to see, especially when you don't know exactly how bad the weather is going to get. We started thinking, okay, what do we do? Do we wait it out? Do we keep exploring, or do we just leave? And eventually we decided, let's not take the chance, let's go. And at the moment we thought we were basically giving up on the rest of our day. But we had no idea what was about to happen next, because once we left, we realized something else. We were hungry. So we started figuring out where we could grab something to eat. Now we got hungry, so we're looking for a place to eat. And that's when we ended up in Queens. Now, normally this probably wouldn't have happened if we had stayed at Snug Harbor. We would have continued with our original plans, but because that storm warning changed everything, we ended up discovering a restaurant we probably wouldn't have visited out otherwise. Sunrun Rum Thai, and here's what caught our attention. This isn't just some random Thai restaurant. It's recognized by the Michelin Guide with a Beef Gourmand. So naturally, we had to find out for ourselves. And this is where the whole day started feeling completely different. What started as, let's go explore Staten Island, turned into, okay, we're in Queens now, let's see what we can eat. Here's the part that still makes me laugh. Remember that severe thunderstorm warning? The one that made us leave? Well, the storm didn't actually happen until much later. We were already home, so technically we left because of a storm that wasn't even happening yet. But at the time, we didn't know that. And I'd rather be safe than sorry, because the last thing you want when you're traveling is to get caught somewhere where, when the weather turns bad. So we went home thinking that was the end of the adventure, except it wasn't, because the next day we decided to get back out there, and this time we headed to Greenport. If you've never been to Greenport, you're going to see why this was such a great way to follow up the craziness of the day before, because Greenport has a completely different vibe. It's slower, it's quieter, and once you get near the water, you immediately feel like you've escaped the city. We ended up having lunch at the shipyard, and one of the best parts about eating here was the view. You're sitting there having lunch, looking out over the waterfront, and everything just feels relaxed. No rushing, no storm warnings, no changing plans, just good food and a beautiful view. And sitting there, I started thinking about what had happened over the previous 2 days. Because if you look at the trip on paper, it doesn't really make sense. We started in Staten Island, we went to Snug Harbor, we discovered this amazing Chinese garden. A storm warning changed our plans. We left, we ended up in Queens. We found this great Thai restaurant. We went home, and then the next day we drove out to Greenport. That's not exactly the itinerary we had in mind, but that's what made it fun, because some of the best travel memories don't come from the perfect itinerary. They come from the moments when something goes wrong and you have to figure out what to do next. And that's really what this trip became, a reminder that you don't always have to know what's coming next. Sometimes you just have to go with it. And who knows, that unexpected change might lead you somewhere even better. In our case, a storm warning took us out of Staten Island and it led us somewhere in Queens, where we discovered an amazing Thai restaurant. Then the following day we ended up enjoying lunch by the water in Greenport. And looking back, I wouldn't change it, because if everything had gone exactly according to plan, we probably wouldn't have experienced any of this. And that's something we've learned from traveling. The itinerary is only the beginning. The real adventure is everything that happens in between. So if you're thinking about exploring New York, don't just stick to the obvious places. Go find the hidden ones. Go somewhere you've never been. Take the little detour, try the restaurant you didn't plan on trying, and if your plans suddenly change, maybe, just maybe, that's where the real adventure begins. And that's exactly what happened to us. What started as a simple trip to Staten Island turned into an unexpected 2-day New York adventure. We discovered the New York Chinese Scholars Garden. We found the Michelin-recognized Thai food in Queens, and then escaped to the waterfront in Greenport. All because of one little notification on our phones, a severe thunderstorm warning. And the funniest part, the storm didn't even happen until we were already home. Sometimes you really can't plan these things, and that's what makes traveling so much fun, because sometimes the best stories are the ones you never planned, and this was definitely one of them.